Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone says.
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse?
Are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I hear?
Homophobia, transphobia, like, is there?
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you.
A leash?
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
When athletes respond to woke reporters, it's more than just a reply. It's a strong rebuttal. They tackle tricky questions head on and reveal media bias, making their points clear and leaving no room for misunderstanding or comeback. In today's video, we are going to be looking at moments where athletes pushed back against woke ideologies and completely demolished the so-called progressive culture being forced on society by the woke left. Starting immediately with professional MMA fighter Sean Strickland, who was asked about his views on transgender people.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone says...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse...
Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I hear...
The UFC champion unleashed a full-blown tirade on the reporter, who tried to pressure him into giving answers about the LGBTQ community.
The fact that you have no fucking backbone and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that?
Strickland called him out for what he considered disrespectful. In Strickland's opinion, supporting the LGBTQ community is part of the problem in society. And he called out the reporter for being a weak man and accused him of having no backbone.
10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world.
When Strickland was asked about the Bud Light sponsorship of the trans community, he described the fact that a few years ago, to be trans was a mental illness. And in his opinion, the trans community only exists because society has stopped seeing it the way it used to be seen. Nothing more than a case of insanity in Strickland's opinions.
And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're peddling. The world is not saying, you know what, you're right. Chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders.
Real quick, if you're enjoying this content and want more insights like this, hit subscribe and help us reach these topics to a wider audience. Thank you for the support. Now, let's jump back in.
I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the enemy. You want to look at an enemy to our world? It's that right there, asking these stupid questions.
Strickland accused the reporter of being part of everything wrong with the world, and the athlete made it clear how much he believes the world isn't buying into the idea of woke culture and trans ideologies. Next up is another professional MMA fighter, Yoel Romero.
Listen, what happened to you, USA? What happened to you? What's going on? You forget for the best of the world. The name is Jesus Christ. What happened to you? Wake up, USA!
Taking the opportunity to speak, Yoel Romero decided to remind the US of its Christian faith, the traditional beliefs upon which the entire country was founded. Romero's bold move didn't come without backlash. Dana White came out to speak about Yoel's actions on the octagon, despite the fact that he is an advocate for free speech.
America doesn't want to hear your thoughts on Jesus. And, keep that stuff at home. Religion, politics, all that stuff. When you're out there fighting.
Speaking of Dana White, the billionaire owner of the UFC, the woke media once went after him. In response, he delivered a bold reply that has become iconic for defending free speech. Dana didn't hold back and made sure his message was crystal clear.
You obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
Like
free speech.
Dana made his point clear on how he doesn't try to dictate what people think or say. According to Dana, he has no interest in censorship and speech policing. The journalist tried to get more words from Dana, even after getting a first reply.
Gonna control what people say? Gonna tell people what to believe? Gonna tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes.
Next up is a video of former World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan. He openly shows his support for Donald Trump, the worst possible move in the sight of woke liberals.
And I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
Hulk didn't hold back on his investment in fighting against the woke media and gave an elaborate performance during the Republican convention. In Hulk's view, he has hidden too long in the shadows, and henceforth, he will openly use his platform as a support base for Donald Trump, no matter what.
Said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Well, Hulk talks about his decision to stand up for Trump, regardless of who gets offended. Hogan mentioned that he used to be among the crowd who stayed silent and didn't want to get targeted by the woke left, and he claimed that this is exactly what they want. Still, he wouldn't be willing to stay on the sidelines anymore.
It was one of the iconic moments of the RNC 2024. You know, Dana White introduced him.
Right.
You were in attendance as well, because the subtle message, and not so subtle message, is Donald Trump is a fighter.
Hulk Hogan considered his public declaration of support for Donald Trump his last move toward doing what he considered the right thing. His support of Donald Trump would place him at odds with the woke culture, which he already considered a flawed system that would soon self-destruct.
I was just in the back trying to get my head right and get into the moment, and I started thinking, I'm Dr. Hogan. I'm Dr. Hogan. I can fix Trump derangement syndrome.
Next up is Formula One star Lewis Hamilton, who is speaking up against the ban and censorship of political statements within the racing industry.
It doesn't surprise me, but nothing will stop me from speaking on the things that I feel that I'm passionate about and issues that there are. I feel the sport does have a responsibility still, always, to speak out on things, to create awareness and on important topics.
According to Lewis, companies shouldn't have the power to control speech the way they do now. Banning entire discussions on certain social issues is a violation of free speech.
I think it would be silly to say that I would want to get penalty points for speaking out on things. But as I said to you, I'm still going to be speaking.
And Lewis is clearly not ready to swallow up what he considers an infringement on his rights to free speech. Next up is well-known boxer Mike Tyson.
If I start talking politics, my friends are not going to like me. Hey, let's just not do that, okay? Let's just not do that.
All right, tell me.
My family get mad, my friends get mad when we talk politics.
Mike Tyson has stated in many interviews that his political views have been seen as offensive by the woke culture, and his friends and family want to protect him from the backlash. But despite the backlash Tyson has gotten from expressing his opinions about politics, the ex-world champion isn't scared to talk about his conservative mindset. However, he has become cautious because he doesn't want to hurt his family or put them in danger from this social leftist movement.
I like Donald Trump, you know? Donald Trump stood up for me when they talked bad about me, and people said, what do you think about this convicted rapist? Said he was for you.
Tyson believes that having the guts to stand up for what you think and know, regardless of the general opinion, is what differentiates champions from the crowd. According to him, his decision to stand for Trump despite his hate is his way of remaining a champion when it comes to reality. Next up is former kickboxing champion and social media personality Andrew Tate. He has been very vocal on his stand against woke culture. During the 2024 Olympics opening ceremony, he and his brother protested the controversial depiction of the Last Supper by placing placards and signs on the streets of Romania.
All of this is done on purpose. They're telling you exactly what's going to happen. They're coming for your kids. They're coming for all your institutions. There's nothing cultural left now. They have an invitation. Or Europe. This is disgusting. Am I right?
Andrew Tate has been all over the internet with his controversial views. He has never shied away from speaking up against woke culture.
They fired their biggest weapon at us. They looked at us and thought they have too much power, too much influence. Let's hit them with the most powerful weapon we have. Let's cancel them. Let's close all their accounts. Let's make them vanish. Let's destroy their influence. That's the biggest bullet they have.
Andrew Tate has attacked cancel culture, calling it a tool by the woke media to censor speech. And according to Tate, he has been targeted by the woke press because of his daring views, which do not resonate with any part of the woke liberal community. Next up is the UFC lightweight former champion Israel Adesanya, who defended Joe Rogan against the woke media during a heated interview where the athlete was asked about Joe Rogan.
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008. And Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with.
Israel made it clear how much he stands by Joe Rogan, and his statement destroyed the woke left's attempt to disregard him.
The noise, man. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform in the world right now. So that's Joe Rogan. The noise.
On to the next. Khabib's reply to being asked about the number of genders in existence was completely hilarious, as the former UFC champion didn't hold back in letting out his opinions on the whole trans ideology.
In America, we have a few hundred genders. How many genders do you guys have in Russia? I know you're a math guy, that's why I'm asking. I think maybe there's a...
Here is like, I see only women and men. There is no between.
Khabib described being raised in the mountains of Russia, where he comes from. Knowing the difference between a man and a woman doesn't require extreme mental capabilities.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, and I was in California, I was like on coffee shop, it's like, I really want to go bathroom. It's like, can I go bathroom? Okay, they told me code, and I'm coming like, 2 bedroom, all gender. It's like, what is this? Where I have to go?
So what do you think? Do you agree with the opinions of the athletes? Would you rather support free speech or support the censorship surrounding it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more open discussions.